The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 336. Today's date is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. We are live, as always, streaming to over 150 countries worldwide. If you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you are watching this in replay or listening to a podcast, the conversation does not have to end here. Go ahead and utilize the comment section below. Let us know how ugly we are, how bad we're doing, how much of a waste of time this podcast is. We appreciate all of the comments. We know that yeah, exactly. Snob says, I remember when I unsubscribed from this channel. Yep. Yeah, it's all good. If you want to text into the show, utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline, presented by our good friends over at Wilder Tactical. Wilder Tactical, you guys know about Wilder Tactical if you've been watching my channel. They make great gear, great duty belts, war belts, whatever you want to call them, all sorts of great different things. First aid kit pouches, mag holders, everything that you want to know. And they're great friends of the channel, so go check out wildertactical.com. That phone number is 530-364-4678. Pull out my phone in case someone does utilize that. Probably won't, but you never know. Other than that, if you're a veteran, really anyone, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I might be a pretty decent ear to walk you through some stuff. More importantly, just to listen. I hope Kyle's not dying on us. You all right, bud? That water went down the wrong pipe, didn't it? I understand. If you are looking for someone that can help you out, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of the United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Go check out all of your favorite pro gun, pro 2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net. Let's get this off of my ugly mug and say hello to the merry band of idiots for the night. Yeah, there you go. From Anderson Manufacturing, we got Kyle. What's up, homie?
Not much, Ghost, as always, man. Thanks for having me on. And pretty busy getting built up for NRAM and Primary Arms Optics Range Day and the Elk Festival, which is local here, but big. That's where we do the Kentucky Elk Draw.
Okay. When is that?
The weekend prior to NRAM.
Oh, that's a busy week then. Holy cow.
Oh, yes. So we're going to set up there Saturday and come back and Monday start our haul to Texas because.
Are y'all driving to Texas?
Yeah. Well,
road tripping it, baby. Road tripping it. All right.
Yeah. That range day really puts you in a situation where you got to drive. So.
Yeah. Midnight Range others has no medical advice. Sorry, Snob Ghost can't tell you why it burns when you pee since your trip to Bangkok. I can't tell you why it pees. I just burns, but I know that it does.
Could make it
anytime you go to a place called Bangkok, let's just be honest. You have to assume there's gonna be some kind of something happening, you know.
Yeah.
One night in Bangkok makes a hard man humble or something like that. Well, if you're a hard man in Bangkok, you might want to watch out. Just saying. Yeah, it is what it is. What's going on at Anderson, you guys? I know y'all are crazy busy still, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Rocking and rolling. And, like I said, trying to skirt, not mess around like production, but also get ready for NRAM. So
Yeah, no, I get
trying
it.
to do some builds like off the side in my office and stuff. It's a mess.
I bet. No, I bet it is. It's
Yep.
it's gotta be a good problem to have, but let's just be honest. It's still a problem when you're so busy that when you guys are going 24/7 and down in the factory anyways, aren't you?
Yep. They're out there turning machines right now.
It's crazy. Without, I don't know if you're allowed to. I don't know if you can't. Just tell me to go shove it. But like for people that don't understand the industry side of this, when people hear, "Oh man, there's the factories open, they're producing stuff and assembling stuff 24/7," can you kind of give an idea about, like, I'm assuming that's what 8 hour shifts or something, but if you're allowed to talk about it, how many people are usually just in that factory or assembly staff at night when you guys leave? There's a whole nother crew that comes in. How many are in that staff? I think people would be shocked when they hear this.
Yeah, I can give you a ballpark.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, it's between 40 and 60 individuals
At one time, not throughout the day. That's in one.
Yeah, one shift.
One
Yep.
time, one shift. And they're running CNC machines. They're running all sorts of different machines, and they're assembling and all of that. So you get 40 or 60 people at any given time just in the factory and the assembly line. That's not including everywhere else. That's just in that one specific thing, right?
Yeah. And I guess since we're on the topic, shout out Second Shift if you guys are watching.
There you go. Well, hopefully they're not watching, right?
You better not be watching, but if you're watching the replay.
Well, they wouldn't be watching this piece of shit anyway. So, but no, you never
There's some
know.
crazy folks, so they might be.
They might be. They might be.
That's where I got my start. So
I know. It's crazy that just a good old boy from Hebron, Kentucky, right?
That's it. So
yeah. It's one of those where I don't think people understand that side of things when you hear, and this is not a knock on you guys, but I mean, y'all are not a massive, y'all are still probably considered a small company when it comes to employees in the firearm industry. You're not small, but you're probably small to middle range. I can only imagine how many people or some of these huge conglomerates I have working in a single shift. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, a lot of work goes into that. It really does. Stuff you wouldn't even think about.
Yeah, it's crazy. Awesome. Sorry to tell you, and you already know this, but sounds like Arkansas just stole your coach from you. So Calipari's coming to Arkansas, and as of today, Big Z is transferring to Arkansas from Kentucky. They're following Calipari. So sorry for that. Just saying, sorry for that.
I didn't think Z was all he was meant out to be, but let's not get into this basketball.
Oh, see, now that he's gone, he's like, oh, he's not that good. We're not going to miss him.
Coach Cal's going to do you guys right, though. I do promise.
He's going to recruit. He's going to recruit. We'll see what happens in-game coaching. That's still, I think that's probably one of the biggest knocks on Cal throughout his entire career is in-game decisions, in-game adjustments, and all of that. We'll see, but I know that he's going to bring talent here. Let's just hope that it's talent that can play together. From the weirdest state in the union, the only state that has 4 letters and takes 2 people to spell it out, we have Chris from the 7-4. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Thanks for the invite. Glad to be back. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it has. I wasn't able to get anything done last week. That's been nuts busy, but that's okay. It's a good thing to have. I think you might have a new toy. Did you not?
I got a couple of them. I got the Disruptor. I'm still working with that. Yeah, I got the T-Saws Night Stalker today. I've been been wanting that since I got my hands on it at SHOT Show. So it's nice to finally have that. And got a new AR chambered in 22 Magnum. So this has been kind of fun to play around with.
Interesting.
Yeah. On an Anderson lower.
On an Anderson lower. How about them apples? Is 22 mag something that you have experience with, or is it kind of a new caliber or cartridge for you?
For me, it's new. I bought that M&P 22 mag there about a year ago, And I don't know what it is about that round. I like it. And I saw a company had uppers in it. So I reached out to them and asked them if they'd send one out to test out. And they sent one over, and I ran it over the weekend. I was a little nervous because, it's rimfire.
Yeah.
Putting it in an AR, I'm like, this is going to be reliable. And I ended up running 120 rounds through it.
No problem.
Hiccup. So, so I'm liking it even more now that I know it's going to be reliable.
Well, let's just be honest. I think 22 mag is a little bit more reliable than 22 LR, right? 22 LR, I like 22 LR, but it's notorious for being dirty. It's notorious for having issues, and it's not, doesn't mean the gun. A lot of times it's just the ammo, and it is what it is. But 22 mag historically is probably a little cleaner, a little more reliable. I know a lot of people, and I'm one of them. I'm a 22 mag fan over 22 LR for sure. But I think a lot of people that don't have experience with 22 mag that have shot a bunch of 22 LR, they go to 22 mag and they're like, oh, it's different. It's different. It's not a night and day different, but it's definitely, in my opinion, an upgrade. But I think a lot of people enjoy 22 mag once they start shooting it for sure.
Yeah.
What's the ammo prices for 22 mag? It's been a while since I bought it.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
It's cheaper than 223, but you're still $15 for a box of 50 is probably going to be about the best deal you're going to find right now for halfway decent ammo. But the weirdest thing with it that I noticed was it's so much quieter than the 223, and you can kind of hear everything going on inside that buffer tube. It was just a strange shooting it versus shooting 223. So but super cool. I can't. I'm excited to get the videos out on it. So
now it sounds funny, but there's some truth to this. Midnight Rain says that 22 mag is a little snappy for them. It is definitely going to be a little snappier than a 22 LR. Now, obviously, when you're talking about AR in 22, it's whatever. It's what it is. But 22 mag, it's got a little more power to the punch for sure than 22 LR does. So it's going to be a little bit different, but it's nothing that's, I think, anything big. But it's definitely once again, I think people that maybe transition from 22 LR to 22 mag, I think will enjoy, in my opinion, the upgrade. If I think they would enjoy it. Kyle, what about you? Are 22 LR versus 22 mag? Do you fall down on either side of that train track?
Not really. I guess I'd take 22 mag over 22 LR all day. But
yeah, it's a fun little shoot, a fun little round to shoot. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Rich wants to know, Chris, if you still like the Smith & Wesson 22 mag pistol. Are you shooting it much?
Yeah, I took it with me since I had all my Magnum ammo out there. So I took it out and ran some rounds through it. I bought some rounds that I hadn't tested in it yet. So actually was filming with it again. I hadn't been doing any videos with it for a while.
Been a while, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun gun. It's cool, and you don't get the same exact. You're not getting those same performance as say 5.7 x 28, but it is cheaper, and it, I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun round to shoot in a pistol or a rifle.
Sure, absolutely. Faux show. What else you got going on? Anything crazy right now?
That's about it. Just a lot of stuff sitting here to.
I understand.
Good problem to have, I guess.
It's a good problem to have. It's been nuts. I haven't been to the range in a few weeks, for almost maybe a month. And a lot of that was because Yoko was gone for 3 weeks and I was dog sitting and busy at work and all that. But now that she's back, I'll be able to maybe get to the range a little bit. I got a lot of stuff to really start doing in the next month before NRAM, because once NRAM happens, it's going to start the cycle all over again. Looking forward to being in Dallas. That's my hometown, so looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I have to share a house with Clover, which that's my own damn fault, I guess. It is what it is. You guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday over on our YouTube community tab, we have the pony polls, hashtag. Well, are we still doing, are we going 10 millimeter? Is that what we've gone to this year? Are we still going? What do you think we should do the hashtag? I mean, I know we've been doing the Pony Express for a while, but I know there's been a push for like the 10 millimeter and all that, but I still like the Pony Express 2024 hashtag.
Yeah, I mean, the grassroots campaign's still alive for the Pony Express because our former friend John
that's a fair point.
Wants it to be launched at Golds. So
yeah, I'm sure he does.
August will be the cutoff date for hashtag Pony Express 2024.
I mean, you know what? We can launch a 3D model or something, or a piece of plastic. You know, it doesn't have to be a working model, does it?
I mean, as long as the concept's there. Shows we're
Ben Hauser says, I like the Oklahoma Sooners. God.
Oof.
And the Chicago Bears. God.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all let Justin Fields come to my division. What are you doing?
Ben, why? Hook 'em. All right. Let's go take a look at we didn't do polls this week because we're going to use the polls from a couple weeks ago because we didn't do a show last week. So the first one, 1.8 thousand votes. Pretty simple. Soup or salad? Kyle?
I had this predicament last night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, did you? Okay. Now, you can say both, but for this particular poll, we're making you choose one.
Well, I'm judging this off my experience last night. It was my daughter's birthday. Went to the hibachi grill.
Happy birthday. What is she? No, never mind. It's your daughter. Yeah.
She's definitely not watching. She better not be watching this.
God, I hope not.
Nah, but they serve you a little salad and an egg soup.
Egg drop soup?
Egg drop soup. There you go.
Hell yeah.
And I choose a salad. I don't know.
Now, was it a Japanese place you went to?
Yes.
So did the salad have like the ginger dressing on it?
Yes.
The greatest salad dressing ever. A couple years ago, I hope to God I still have the recipe, but we kind of my wife and I kind of reverse engineered, and we made the ginger dressing. And I made a whole big old batch and put them in bottles and all that. And I ran out of it. I need to make some more. But that ginger dressing is maybe the greatest salad dressing ever. Just saying.
Second to blue cheese, but
oh, really? You're a blue cheese guy?
Big blue cheese guy.
Ooh, interesting. So last night you chose the egg drop soup?
No, I chose salad.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Egg drop soup. I love egg drop soup. My wife makes a pretty good egg drop soup. Well, we'll go to Chris. Soup or salad, my man?
I laughed when I saw this poll because I always go neither. I can't stand either one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Any kind of soup at all?
So it's weird. Like if I go to a restaurant, they always will come out, you want a super salad? I was like, no, I don't want either one. Don't worry about it. Just bring me my meal.
Okay.
But now if we're at a restaurant and they got chili, then it's a different story. I'll get like chili.
Not if it's Cincinnati though, right? Not if it's Cincinnati chili.
Definitely not Cincinnati.
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now I don't like either one, to be honest. I like very few soups.
So interesting, because I've never met anyone that doesn't like soup, like in general. Is it the consistency of soup or what? It gets cold as hell in Ohio during the winter. I would think that wintertime would be great for a nice hot soup.
I guess the biggest thing is I just hate vegetables. Like I can't stand vegetables.
I understand. I'll eat about 3 different vegetables: corn, some green beans if they're not raw. They have to be like cooked and all of that. And hell, that might be the only 2 that I like. So I tell you what, there is a great soup that my wife has. Once again, my wife's amazing. She's an amazing cook. She can kind of reverse engineer a lot of different things. Her palate is unbelievable. She can taste every little thing. Do you guys have Panera bread up there? Panera? Yeah. So they have a wild rice and chicken and rice soup with mushrooms. There's no vegetables in it if you don't want it to be, and it's stuff like that. Really, really, really amazing. I think you might even like maybe like you come down south, maybe have like some tortilla soup. But you'd enjoy that. If you like Mexican food, tortilla soup's pretty damn good. Now, vegetable soups and all that, I get it. I get it. But yeah, man, I'm a big soup guy during the wintertime. We eat a lot of soups, and my favorite and is soup and chili. I want to hear from the people out in the chat as well. Kyle, is chili a soup?
No.
Chris, do you think chili is a soup?
Not really.
I don't either. I think chili is its own thing. You know,
it is often found in the soup section, though.
It is, because here's the thing: I don't think that people understand where to put it. Now, we do have our resident chef out there. So Midnight, he says chili is a soup. Now, is it really a soup, Midnight, or is that where you put it on a menu? Because I think you're right, Kyle. I think people put it on a menu under soups because they just don't know what else to put it as. I think chili could be a meal. To me, it's a meal in its own. I believe that chili could be the main. It could be a main dish for a meal. It goes in a soup bowl, but so does cereal. So is cereal a soup now?
Damn, that's deep.
I mean, is ice cream soup? Because you put ice cream in a bowl. So come on, Gary.
They both
step up your game. Seriously?
If you really think about it, cereal could definitely be a soup.
The only way that I could sit there and say that ice cream could possibly be called a soup is if you let it melt, which is, by the way, a great way of eating ice cream. Let it melt into like a thick cream. It's pretty damn good. Gizzard Midnight says cereal is a soup and ice cream is frozen soup. Next, I think you're batshit crazy. Never go to his restaurant ever. Although I do love cereal, and I do love ice cream. So if I start seeing ice cream and cereal on the soup list at restaurants, I actually might get excited about that. Huh? Interesting. Is any stew a soup? Is chili stew? I think a stew is a soup. I would say, but I don't think chili is a stew.
Like beef stew, definitely.
Yeah, and that when I think of beef vegetable stew, to me that's 100% a soup in my opinion. But I don't think chili's a stew. What do you guys think about? Where do you come down on chili as a stew?
I mean, Midnight's got my thinking completely flipped around now. I'm gonna start.
Just because he's a chef doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about. Let's just be honest.
I think it does. I think it actually does.
Do you know what they call the person who ranks last in their culinary school? You know what they call that person? They still call him chef. So it doesn't mean he's any good. It just means that he might have gotten a degree in culinary arts. I know him. and I'm pretty sure they just wanted him out of that school. So they were probably gave him a diploma and called him chef. I'm just saying. Rice with chili? Hell yeah, rice with chili is great. You've never had rice with chili? Yeah, that's good stuff. I wouldn't go with goldfish. Now I'm a big sour cream guy, but I wouldn't go sour cream with chili either. I haven't never had it. I might try that, but if you ever get some rice, man, there's on the bottom of your chili, mix it all up. It's pretty damn good.
Sour cream's good with chili, guys.
I love sour cream. I've never had it with chili. I need to try that. Midnight says, I say a stew implies that it's cooked low and slow. So he says that chili is a stew. Oh my God. Why did you come back? Like it's been a great year and a half that you've been gone, bro. Like, red beans and rice. Well, yeah, but if you're in the South and you live anywhere near Louisiana, you know what red beans and rice is, and that's just about as good as it gets, for sure. 1.8 thousand votes. 66% were correct when they say soup is better. 34% say that rabbit food is better, which I don't get it. To me, I'm a very particular. I don't like salad. I like, if I have a salad, it needs to be like iceberg lettuce. And I know that sounds weird because most people hate iceberg lettuce, but that's kind of like the only lettuce that I really do enjoy. And it needs to either be one of 3 salad dressings. The only ones I'll eat. I'll eat either ranch or Italian or the ginger if it's around. But I'm not a salad guy. It took me a long time. I really didn't start eating salads until I was in my probably 30s, to be honest with you. Chili is as a dip and stew for hot dog sandwiches. Yeah, this is the same guy that started the whole hot dogs and sandwiches thing, which he's completely wrong about. He also says that Slim Jims are candy bars, which I think is batshit crazy. So his argument is that because you only find Slim Jims in the candy aisle. And it makes you think, right? It's like, damn, he actually kind of makes sense on that one. But Slim Jims aren't candy bars. Slim Jim's a candy bar. What does everybody say?
Yes.
No.
I say yes because it's not beef jerky. You can't consider it beef jerky. I guess you'd call it a beef stick, but that's pretty generic. I think it's a candy.
Dude, I do not want to introduce you with Midnight Range. that actually might break the matrix. Like, it really might break the matrix. Do you think a hot dog's a sandwich?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, it's not.
Midnight says they're meat candy. That just sounds disgusting. And I'm a big beef guy. Like, I love the meat.
Huge beef guy over here.
I love big meats. Love big meats. Love big meats. Midnight says, I love this guy. He makes a lot of sense. Oh, God. So, Midnight, welcome back, man. All right. Next question. Let's move on before this gets too difficult. 1.3 thousand votes. Which do you prefer in general? Shopping at Amazon or shopping at Walmart? Chris, we'll start with you.
Oh, Amazon. I can't stand Walmart. Especially the one here.
I think that so everyone says that. So let me put it this way. It's not just there. It's Walmart in general. It's every Walmart. Like, even the nice Walmarts. No. Can't do it.
Now, I will say I have to go in there at least once, maybe twice a year, just for the pure entertainment of going to Walmart.
Now, if you do like people watching, you will see some shit that you never thought would exist before.
And it has to be
especially in Arkansas, I promise you. And
it has to be the first weekend of the month. That's when you get the full experience.
Because everyone's got their checks and everything.
Yeah.
Huh? Yep. No, I get it. Kyle, Walmart or Amazon?
I was going to say something along the lines Chris did. I'll shop Amazon all day. But I will make an excuse to go to Walmart on occasion. Just see what kind of creatures we got lurking.
You know, there are some creatures out there that don't need to be lurking anymore.
100%. That's why I want to see them.
But the great thing about Walmart is all of those creatures do like assemble in one spot. So you get to see some wild shit sometimes at Walmart. Unfortunately, if you live where I do, is in rural Arkansas, we do have a grocery store, and it's a great little grocery store. Unfortunately, not all the time does it have everything that you need. So you have to kind of go to Wally World. And man, I hate going to Walmart. Like, I hate going. My wife is one of those that when she gets to Walmart, she just kind of wants to like walk around and start picking stuff. I'm like, nope, we're going to start at the back aisle and we're going to come to the front aisle, get everything on our list, and we're getting the hell out of here. I do not want to be in Walmart any longer than I need to be. I cannot stand, I cannot stand Walmart. It's just a weird place, man. It's just a weird place because you're going to go in there with a list of 6 or 7 items. You're going to walk out with $400 in your damn shopping cart. You're like, how does that happen? Like, I get it. They know what they're doing, right? I get it. I just can't stand going to Walmart. I just can't do it. Can't do it. 1.3 thousand votes. 83% were correct that say Amazon. Amazon is the way to go.
So let me ask you this, because we all three live in 3 different states, and we all have a Walmart.
In 3 different, probably kind of like areas, like environments, right?
So one of the biggest frustrating things for me here, the Walmarts in Ohio stopped selling any ammo that could be shot in a handgun or an AR. Now, did they do that in your guys' states too? Or because I've heard there's states you can still go into like a Walmart and buy 9mm ammo and stuff, but not here.
I'll say it this way. Walmart is headquartered and founded here in Arkansas. Even the Democrats in Arkansas own guns, right? I think 83% of Arkansans or something like that. It's an absurd number own firearms. So if there's ever going to be a state that would allow like 9mm, 10mm, any handgun caliber, you would think it'd be at Arkansas, right? For a lot of different reasons. Nope. Not here.
Yeah, same here. We got shotgun rounds and some hunting rounds, like 350 Legend, like Walmart's my spot.
Yeah, I mean, we get all sorts. I mean, you can find all sorts of every rifle, like every single, well, not every, but like besides the obscure cartridges, I mean, everything that's the normal rifle calibers, even some ones that you might not think are normal, they carry here for sure. But they still carry 223.
See ours.
Well, the last time it's been a couple years since I've gone to Walmart looking for ammo. Let's be honest. The last time I went 2 or 3 years ago, they were still carrying. They may not anymore. Yeah, shotgun and rifle all day long. A ton of them. They don't sell handguns. They will sell some rifles and shotguns. That's about it. Yeah, that happened. I want to say, was that after Uvalde that policy changed? Because that happened at a Walmart, I believe, did it not? Uvalde shooting in Texas. I think that happened in a Walmart. And so I might be wrong about that. I mean, I know that I'm right about Uvalde happening at a Walmart, but I think that after that is when Walmart kind of started getting weird about different calibers. So I don't know. Teach their own. 83% say they prefer Amazon. I prefer Amazon at this point. It's so easy. I mean, it's so easy. So it was a company policy change. 223 or 556, no more. Also 762 by 39, no more. There you go.
Yeah, I bet 90% of my 76239 that I have all came from Walmart.
Back in the day,
was so cheap.
So cheap. Tula, or were you going like what was the brand that you got mostly at Walmart? Do you remember?
It always was like, it seemed like one week it would be all Tula, the next week it would be all Wolf, but it would like go back and forth.
Yep. People don't understand. That's the great thing about the AK platform is you don't have to worry if it's steel casing or not. It's going to pretty much run. So, that's good stuff about that. Okay, real quick before we move on. Marcus out there, question for the AR guys in the room. 11.5-inch 300 blackout build is a little snappy. Thinking of putting on an adjustable gas block on to make it softer. Which do you recommend? Well, I know Kyle Anderson has a 300 blackout. I know it's not an 11.5, but you do have an 11.5 5.56 223, which the 300 blackout you can still get away. What kind of gas system? Do you guys have a carbine leak gas system? Which gas system do you have in the 11.5 for you guys?
It's a carbine, but on the 300 blackout, and I'm sure Marcus already has it, but you're going to want a pistol length gas system.
The pistol length, yep.
Yeah, I mean, adjustable gas blocks work wonders. So, I mean,
are you guys fans of the adjustable, or do you like just getting, a piston or a carbine or a rifle length gas system? Do you like the adjustable gas system?
I like the versatility that comes with an adjustable.
Sure.
You could slap a suppressor on there and go ahead and tune it up. And like Marcus was talking about, you don't like the way it recoils. Well, you could play with the gas a little bit, and it can make some adjustments to that.
Yeah, it's really interesting you talk about that, because I think that's pretty much why and where the adjustable gas length came into play, was for putting a can on it. But you don't have to run a can to benefit from an adjustable gas system,
No.
Now, he does say that it has a pistol length on it right now. So would you say go to a carbine length, or just go to an adjustable pistol length?
Yeah, I definitely keep the pistol length. That seems to
just go adjustable.
Yeah. But yeah, I think adjustable could help. You can get way down the rabbit hole on that, though, and you can start playing with buffer weights and.
Well, I was going to say also buffer weights, going from it sounds weird, but like a PCC buffer versus an AR buffer. The spring, it's different. So you play around with that. But I'm bringing Chris in also. If you'll jump in, I don't know what your familiarity with 300 blackout is. What do you say? Do you say what's up?
I think Chris is working on one right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a 16-inch barrel, and then I got my 7.5 pistol. I guess I just have never really noticed it being snappy, because you're running a 30 cal bullet in the same exact size case, really low powder charge too.
And I don't have be honest, a lot of 300 blackout is subsonic, to be honest with you,
Yeah, and the thing is I've never really shot any factory. I don't think I've ever shot 300 blackout factory ammo.
Huh, interesting.
Because that's my all-time favorite round to reload. So I play around with a lot of 300 blackout. So
he says it has an H2 buffer. So he also wants to know, I don't know, because I don't work with adjustable gas blocks. But he wants to know, do any adjustable gas blocks have a completely closed setting? What do you guys know of that?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure you can close it all the way up, though. All it is like a ball bearing that sits in there, and you kind of play around with it. But if he's already
would you want to have a completely closed? I don't know if that would be good or not.
That'd be horrible. It'd be a bolt action. But gosh, what was I going to say? You could also play with the weight of the projectile too. That's going to have an impact. So I'd go with some subsonic, which tends to be a heavier projectile load. See if maybe that makes a difference. I don't know what all rabbit hole he's already been down, but I mean, if he's got an H2 buffer, then I mean, he's either been playing with it, or that's just how he built it out. But definitely play with that buffer weight. Adjustable gas block's a great idea, but there's all kinds of things.
Chris, do you know off the top of your head what weight your projectile that you reload is?
Well, the smallest that I reload is 110 grain, and then the biggest is 220.
Which one would you like?
The 220s are light, like nothing. But you're only sitting on. I'm taking a wild guess here, but I'm thinking I'm less than 10 grains of powder on a 200.
Yeah, and you're talking about there's very little energy coming from that because of the weight and because of the powder load. It's not a whole lot of energy. Maybe that's before you do anything. Maybe look at a heavier grain, like Kyle said. Maybe look at a heavier grain projectile and see if that helps. Maybe he's running too light. Maybe he's running a 110 and go up a little bit, maybe not all the way up to 200, whatever it is, but I mean, maybe take a step up and see if that helps a little bit. I don't know.
I will say one thing too, and I hate to promote stuff on here, but the only one I have experience with is JP Enterprises. But they make a captured buffer system that's adjustable. You can add weight, take weight away. And that works wonders with recoil as well. I have that in one of my builds, and it's awesome. So,
yeah, he's saying, just curious how much a gas gun action causes inaccuracy in the same rifle compared with a bolt action or closed setting on the gas block. I can't imagine it causing, if you were to put that AR in a sled and not, shoot offhand or shouldered or whatever, you put in a sled and it's a controlled testing, I don't imagine there'd be hardly any difference between a 300 blackout gas and a 300 black and a bolt action. I don't think there'd be any difference. I think where a lot of people, and this, I'm not saying this is M. Gabriel, but I think a lot of people that will shoulder the AR, well, one, they're anticipating maybe a little bit of recoil, and so they're naturally maybe going to flinch just because that's just the natural reaction. But two, you're unless you've got a sling or you're doing something, let's just be honest, for precision talk here, going offhand or shouldering that rifle is not the most stable way of shooting. Let's just be honest. So just in general, it's going to be less accurate than if you were putting it on a sled. So I think it'd be interesting to see maybe if you have a sled at home or something that you can prop those rifles on, sandbags or anything that you're not bearing that weight of the rifle and you're not being the one that has to stabilize it. I can't imagine. I'm going to bring Chris and Kyle into this, but I don't imagine that in a 300 blackout, I mean, maybe it would be in a higher, caliber, a larger caliber, large bore rifle system, maybe, but for 300 blackout, I can't imagine a gas gun producing inaccuracies in comparison to a bolt or a closed gas. That's just me. What do you guys think about that?
I think the bolt gun would definitely edge out the AR, just because
it's negligible though, right? I mean, it can't be that much.
Yeah, but they're just designed to have that straight line, the bolt running into the chamber, and there's a lot that goes into that. And not the ARs aren't, but there's a lot of more moving parts in the AR. A lot more room for error. So
well, let's be honest. If it is a gas gun as well, I mean, the pressure of the gas, all of that goes into that is going to be different than that bolt. But like I said, I don't think in a 300 blackout cartridge, I don't think it's going to be enough to really notice, much less change thoughts on accuracy. That's just me. I don't know. The 300 blackout is my wife's, and she complains it hits her cheek harder. I'm going to say her neck harder, maybe, or cheek harder, maybe. I don't know. No, let's just be honest. That could be mechanics. I mean, it could be stance. It could be setup. It could be a lot of different things that I'm not saying don't go and change your gas block or your gas system. I'm not saying that. Don't do that. I'm saying that there's a lot of variables that I would make sure that are happening or not happening before I went and changed that. Now, is it going to bother if you go an adjustable gas block? No, it's not. But I'm not so sure that would be the first move unless you've gone through a whole lot of, like Kyle was saying, unless you've gone through a whole lot of steps to this point. That's maybe not where I would start. I'd probably start with a different grain weight and see how that goes. I don't know.
Or I mean, if you look at it in retrospect, after the fact, now that we've talked about it and stuff, if you do find out, it's a shooting stance or shooter ergonomics not working correctly or whatever, invest a little bit of money in some training. the wife out there with you, it's a freaking awesome date. Awesome date. And, you can never get enough training.
No. Chris, Kyle, just off the top of your head, for those that might be listening to this and wondering, well, what does, this Marcus guy's talking about an adjustable gas block? To get an adjustable gas block and all of that, how much does that cost? And then two, for the average person that might be new to this, is it hard to put on? It's a three-pronged question here. I'm going to ghost you, really ghost you. How much did it cost? Is it hard to install? And about how long does it take to install? I think people will be surprised at the answers to these.
All right. Well, I'll take it. It's not hard to install. You just got to know what size your gas pad is, which for a 300 blackout in the AR platform, you're probably at 750. But it's literally just a block. You got to pin the gas tube in, and then it's 2 set screws on the bottom of it. Pretty easy. And then it's really easy if you have a dimpled barrel. So you'll have a dimple on the bottom where one of those set screws will lock in, and it ain't letting that thing move anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think the hardest part about setting a gas block, at least for me, is getting that thing aligned properly. Which again, that's where the dimple come in to help you out. I do a little cheat and do it upside down so I can see the dimple. But
little tricks of the trade.
You gotta watch it though, because on some barrels out there, the dimple might not necessarily be in the right spot. So always be cognizant that could be an issue, but 99% of the time you're going to be fine. But all you got to do is pop the handguard off and slide probably the flash hider as well. Slide your new gas system on, put the handguard back on, and you're ready to roll. Now, I would leave the handguard off while you're tuning it. That way you got easy access to that gas block. And it's funny we're talking about. I just did a blog on this. So I just went through the steps. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's go over to the Anderson Manufacturing website. Continue on, sir. And I will
but leave that handguard off. And usually your gas block your adjustable gas block will come with some instructions, and it'll tell you like where it comes from the factory. And then you just kind of work your way from there. Do a shot, doesn't cycle, you need to open it up more. So you can do like 2 or 3 clicks. If it shoots and cycles or hangs up, tries to pick up a second round but doesn't, go ahead and open it up more. It's just one of those things, you just kind of finely tune it until you get a cycle that you like. Once it's cycling, then that's where you really start to like optimize it. And really make it fit like, all right, so this is a little too much recoil for me. Maybe I'm going to shut it down a little bit or open it up a little bit. And just go from there. And I like them. They're a pain in the butt sometimes because you do have to go in and do the adjustments. I try to make sure I get a handguard to where I can get like an Allen key in there and do little adjustments on the fly if I needed to. But a lot of the time you're going to pop that handguard off, which is the only catch, unless you can stretch it out to like the end of your handguard where it'd be perfect to kind of get in there like a keyhole. But
I guess, and one of the perks of having that adjustable block also is if you're someone that likes to shoot different grain weights and all of that, you can always be able to tune it with whatever ammo, whatever you've got, you can kind of tune it as you need to tune it. I did put a link in the chat out there for you guys. One of Kyle's blogs, builder on a budget, building a general purpose upper for the low sub 500. So I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about.
Yep.
So go check out that blog right there. Chris, when you're looking to maybe get into an adjustable gas system and all of that, roughly ballpark, what's going to cost you to get into one of those?
I'm going to be honest.
$100 or so, or less than that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. I don't have one adjustable gas block on any of my guns.
Do you go pistol most of the time, or Whatever comes on the gun.
Pretty much whatever I get with the upper.
Yeah.
I've never needed. If I assume now one of these days, if I decide to get into the suppressor game, it's going to be a different story.
Sure. Yeah.
I will say that you do have to watch sometimes when you buy these uppers from these super budget companies that are online, and I'm not going to say names. I don't want to trash anybody, but you got to get there. I did get an upper one time. I took it to the range, and it was a single shot gun. I got it home. I took the handguard off, and that gas block was just barely out of adjustment.
Oh wow!
But if they're out,
yeah,
it'll screw the gun up. And I mean, it doesn't need to be off much. I mean, Kyle knows that. I mean, building ARs. I mean, if you're off just a touch, it'll really mess up the cycling of that gun. So I got into the habit when I would buy from this particular company, I'd tear the upper down as soon as I got it home and just go through it, because it saves you the headache of going to the range, and then you're like, oh, it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
So it only happened the one time, but it will definitely cause a bad day at the range when you get there if gas blocks out of alignment. Because normally I don't have a lot of those tools in my range bag to tear one down and do it at the range.
Let's be honest, very few people, that's not something you think about taking to the range with you, right? Yeah. Let's just in a normal scenario. Now, Kyle, you probably have a lot more experience just in general about what does an adjustable gas block cost. And I would say like about $100 is what I kind of see them for. Probably a little bit more in some areas, some a little bit less. But what's your experience in adjustable? About $100 or less?
I was going to say, surprisingly, you can find them around $60.
Okay. Okay.
But they will climb, like you said, $100, $120. It's depending on what manufacturer you go through. I don't necessarily have a manufacturer like designated, like my go-to. Mm-hmm. Right now, I run Anderson adjustable gas blocks. And
now, do you guys sell them through the website?
We do. Yep.
So Marcus, go to andersonmanufacturing.com. Use the promo code GHOST. Or Chris, what's your code?
Chris from the 740.
Chris,
okay. I got so many of them. I'm like,
I know. Use either code GHOST or anybody out there. If you go to Anderson Manufacturing, use the promo code GHOST or Chris from the 740, and you'll get a little discount. So
I get text messages from people and emails. What's your discount code? And I have to go over to my link tree I'm like, oh, okay, this for this company. Like,
we get it. You're a big shot, Chris. Golly.
Oh, I bet it's worse for Ghost.
I don't do discount codes typically.
Just messing.
I'm not a big affiliate guy. I do it with about 4 or 5 companies. Anderson's happen to be one of them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm terrible at it. Right. I don't necessarily understand affiliate marketing and all of this stuff. So that's why I kind of stay away from them, because it kind of scares me, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Now, when it comes to just promo codes and all of that, with about 4 or 5 companies that I do a lot of work with, absolutely, I'll do that to help out everyone out there that save a few bucks. But I typically stay away from them. A lot for that reason, Chris, is I just don't have the time to keep up with all of that, and I don't promote it as well as I should. I'm not on Facebook anymore, and that's where a lot of people promote all of their stuff with affiliates and promo codes on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, so it doesn't help me. That being said, Anderson is one of the few that I do, and it's just Ghost. So and we're go Christmas 740. It's not going to hurt my feelings, guys. What I suggest is, if you have companies that you work with and you have creators that are partners with those companies, like Chris and I are with Kyle and Anderson, you'll probably find out that you've got 4 or 5 or 6 different creators that have codes from the same company. So what I suggest is help out all of them. So every time that you buy something, use a different code, and it just supports all of your creators. I don't get anything out of it. I don't get a cut out of it or anything like that. It's to help you save some money, and I wouldn't put a code out there with a company that I don't love and trust. Once again, I only use about 4 or 5 of them because I don't do that. That said, I know the Anderson people. I know Kyle and Chris and Jeremy and everyone over there, and they're all great people, and they're friends of mine, and I trust them, and I trust the products, I trust the company, and that's why I use a code. So it's not that I'm benefiting from it, and none of us benefit from these codes, right? Affiliate links are different, but these discount codes, we don't benefit. We don't get a kickback or anything. So I appreciate the ones that use my code, but if you've got 4 or 5 of us that have codes, let's say with Anderson or with whoever, utilize everyone's code and kind of share the love a little bit. It kind of helps everybody out. More importantly, it lets Anderson, because you guys, Kyle, you guys track what codes are being used. So that kind of helps you to figure out who's maybe pushing that or whatever, correct?
Yep. Yeah, it's a good way to track stuff like that. But
yeah,
I think the most important part for me, and this is going to sound like a crappy marketing person right here, but honestly, is looking
says a social media guy from Anderson. Just kidding.
No, I mean, but I just think it's cool to give the audience like a little something, like
absolutely, and that's why I do it. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Is anyone got a Panera code? Touche. But no, seriously. That's why I don't do many companies. I've got like 4 or 5, but I have no problem doing that, because if it's a company that I work with, that I trust, I have a good relationship, well, why wouldn't I want people to utilize those products? And then, if you can save 10, 15%, whatever it is, then hell yeah. If that company is willing to give you a discount by using a code, then use the code, folks. Let's just be honest. Use the code,
And plus, we're all gun dudes and dudettes here.
That's
we don't buy gun parts without a discount code of some sort. I always have a discount code.
Exactly. Now, Midnight says he's talking to you, Kyle. Midnight Rain says, give my new best friend, he's talking to you, his email so that you can send him a free pistol upper code.
Yeah. Well,
that code is in your dreams, all one word, all lowercase. And Lance wants to know the code. The code in your dreams.
One word.
So, one word. If you really want to get crazy, try typing in the code Pony Express and just see what happens. Now that's going to add about 30% to your tab.
Yeah.
What's up, Lance? My buddy Lance out there. What's up, buddy? Off the X. No, we always want codes, and I was like, if you want to buy something through Anderson, utilize mine or Chris's or other people's codes, because, like I said, it doesn't benefit monetarily, doesn't benefit us, but it does benefit you as a consumer. And I'm not going to lie, if I'm buying something off Anderson, I'm going to use mine or use Chris's or someone else's code. If you can save, money, then why wouldn't you? Right? So, yeah. What I suggest you do, and Chris has a link tree. I'm sure you can find his stuff on his website as well. You can find it on my website as well. But if you have several creators that you like and you trust their opinions and all of that, if they have a website, which if they're respectable pretty much at all, they're going to have a website. A lot of them are going to have different codes or affiliate links and all that. You never know, see, Wes just use your link, Chris, for a PSA order. There you go. Lance wants to know, Kyle, when's Anderson coming out with a suppressor? Wow. That's kicking up the game right there.
I never rule anything out for Anderson Manufacturing, but
not for a while, huh?
Give us a couple of years on that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, though.
That could be the true Pony Express right there.
You know what?
Not a double barrel, but
if I had a choice of the shotgun or a suppressor to be called the Pony Express, I'm going suppressor. I'm not gonna lie.
Same. That would go pretty hard. Now that I'm visualizing it. You're putting these ideas in my head, man.
Now Midnight says, if I had a cool Anderson upper, I could use it in a sandwich video and call it the Baloney Pony. Jeez.
Oof.
Wow.
I'd watch it.
Wow. So I love Trav. He's a great friend of mine. Great person. He ain't all there. I'm just letting you out there. He ain't all there. Hashtag Lance for the code. Yeah, there you go. The Pony Can 2025. We've got a new hashtag, the Pony Can.
Oh, I like
that.
Or
do we call it, the Canned Pony?
That sounds a little sadistic.
It does, but I like it. Imagine the fun you could have with the visuals and the graphics for the Canned Pony. I don't think that the what is that organization? It's all about animal rights. Yeah, I don't think they would like the name Canned Pony, probably.
Babe, hand me the Canned Pony.
Yeah.
Wrong one. The other Canned Pony.
I need the Vienna sausages and the Canned Pony, baby. We're getting ready to go. Midnight wants to know, if you're hiring Anderson, you guys need a corporate chef.
Like
I think he might be half serious.
Like I said earlier, never rule anything out here.
That's right. I love it. All right, our last, golly, we haven't even gotten to the last question yet. 1.8 thousand votes. In general, not for any specific purpose, just in general, when you're out at the range, do you guys prefer shooting at paper targets or steel targets? And I'll start with Kyle on this one.
Steel.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I got to go steel.
I'm the same.
It's just, there's no comparison.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of factors in this. A lot of factors.
Well, and I think the biggest thing for me is not being able to shoot steel until I joined this new range a couple months ago, and being able to shoot it now. Okay. God, I love shooting steel. It's just, I like the noise. Sure. And
the feedback is
that instant feedback. And for me, I'm not a precision guy with the stuff that I would shoot steel with, right? So I'm not trying to put a hole in a hole. I'm trying to hit that silhouette or whatever it is. So if I hear the ping, I don't care where on that it hit. I just wanted to know that it hit that 6-inch circle or whatever you've got shooting. But there's a lot of factors why I really do appreciate steel more than paper. One is out of laziness. I hate going and taping up the holes. Chris knows this, and Kyle, I'm sure that you have probably, I don't know if you shot competition or not, but if you've shot competition ever in your life and you understand, part of the competition world is walking around with a strip of masking tape on your leg. And people say, why the hell do you do that? Because you've got to go and cover up holes after everyone shoots a stage. And if you're at the range by yourself, the last thing I want to do is go down there and have to cover up holes and all of that. So out of laziness, you don't have to do that. The worst thing you have to do with steel is every now and then spray paint it. How hard is that? And let's be honest, unless you really want to, you don't have to spray paint the steel. It's just if you want it to look pretty on camera or whatever. What's up, Misha?
The worst is that when you get towards the end of the day of a match, and there's literally nothing to put a pacer on because it's blown the cardboard out so bad.
Well, I mean, the only thing that's holding that target together is at that point the masking tape. Let's just be honest, steel is so much better. I think you get that instantaneous reaction to bing or miss. And it's like, oh, shit. Now, as a creator, steel is amazing for camera because now you don't have to put a camera necessarily on the target where you had to with paper, so you could show people that you were actually hitting what you were shooting. With steel, you shoot, you hear the bing or you don't. And it makes filming gun stuff a little bit easier. I will say this, for those of you that have not shot steel much or at all, please do not shoot unless you're using frangible. But if you've never shot steel, the chance of you shooting frangible ammo at this point are probably slim to none. Please do not shoot steel unless you're at least 10 yards. And I would say probably more than that. But the minimum that you need to be distance from you and the steel is 10 yards. Because you can get some shrapnel back at you, and it doesn't feel good sometimes. Most definitely.
Put it on
your steel is too soft and weak if you have to tape the holes. That's true. That is true. I can verify that the worst steel in the world was at range day at TriggerCon. That was the worst. We had friends. I got hit several times, but our good friend TJ at Gearport had like a chunk, and it actually bruised him in his stomach. That steel was terrible. So let's hope that this year for TriggerCon, it wasn't TriggerCon's fault. It was the range that they were at. Let's just hope maybe TriggerCon goes and gets a steel target sponsor this year and doesn't have that problem. What are you going to say, Chris?
Oh, to always make sure you got it on a little bit of an angle too. When that stuff's pointing straight at you, it'll
Yeah, you always kind of want to have for you kind of have it down at an angle. You don't have to be down like that, but 5 degrees,
just slight,
just a slight angle. It does for sure. Wes, man, you can't give my secrets away, man. He says if you would pan off of ghost shooting videos, you'd see a kid off camera banging a pan with a spoon. Actually, you would see Buck. The tactical FUD out there, it's Buck with a little hammer. Dink, 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 dink. Yeah. Wear iPro. Well, you should wear iPro. Okay. How do I put this? So for safety, I will always say, always wear Ear Pro and always wear iPro. I will say 100% wear iPro if you're shooting at steel. 100%. And I'm not talking about eye protection that you can buy at Walmart in the sunglass aisle. They need to be ballistic eye pro that's rated for that. You can go down to Dollar General and buy yourself a pair of $1 sunglasses. That's probably not going to help you a whole lot in that situation. That said, and I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but I want to ask Kyle this because we're not much far apart, but we're a different generation of Marine Corps. When I was in the Marine Corps, the only time we ever used iPro was if we used it ourselves. Like we wanted to. Like we were never told we had to wear iPro, not even at qual range or anything, boot camp, nothing. It was never, we wore like the little foamy, ear pros, which aren't going to do shit. But we never wore iPro. It was never a thing that we ever wore iPro. And let's be honest, we didn't really wear ear pro a lot of time outside of when you're on the range. Like if you're on the range, you're going to have to wear ear pro, at least back in my day. But if we weren't on the range, we didn't wear ear pro. And that might have something to do with hearing issues and stuff like that, headaches and all of that. But iPro, we were never, iPro wasn't a thing. What about you, Kyle? When you were in the Corps, did you have to wear iPro, or did they talk about wearing iPro at all?
Yeah, every safety brief was iPro, ear pro, blah, blah, blah. But it just seemed to be like, so like qual range, obviously, like, yeah, you better have your iPro and ear pro on. I think I've actually seen people get kicked off the range for not having it.
See, it was never a thing for me. That's weird because you weren't like dramatically. I mean, when did you go in?
2006.
Okay, so a decade after me.
Yep.
So it's weird, but in a decade they started, I guess, making you wear iPro. We were never like, they issue iPro to you, or did you just pick up some iPro at the range, or what?
So in boot camp, I had the birth control goggles because I'm blind.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And those things,
the Buddy Hollies, if you will.
Yeah, and those things could survive nuclear holocaust. So
they could, man. I had a guy in my platoon that wore them 3 years into his enlistment. Same ones from boot camp, man. Just kept on wearing them. We're like, yeah, he's never getting laid ever.
Yeah. And then when we checked into our unit, mine being 2nd CEB, we got issued some Wiley X's, which were really nice.
Okay. So they were issued to you.
Yep. And then pre-deployment, we got the Oakley M frames, and we felt like big boys.
Yep. Now, could you go and get your own, or did you have to use the issued goal?
Well, that's just a small unit leadership thing. I think in the Marine Corps you could, because there is regulations like have to be black frame, blah, blah, blah for the lenses.
See, this is new because there was no regulation because it wasn't a thing. iPro was not a thing for us at all.
But it seemed to be, even when I was squad leader, I made this a rule for our squad. Everybody had to look exactly the same.
Yeah, yep. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
When I was a team leader, it was one of those things that I want. If one person's wearing the green jungle boots, everyone's wearing the green jungle. If one of them's wearing, now you guys probably didn't have the green jungle boots or the black leathers. You guys are all wearing
suede
Danners, or you're wearing the sand stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I was in, before we got the desert stuff, it was the green jungles, or you had the black boot camp boots. I call them the black leathers, and that was just me. I'm the same way. We're all gonna wear the same kind of camis. We're gonna wear the same boots. You know, we're gonna be, you know, the other squads, the other teams might not, but we're gonna be the same. And that's an OCD thing for me. So yeah, I get it.
Small thing, but it could save lives.
It could. Which is really interesting because, and you know what I'm talking about with this, and I don't want to go too down into this rabbit hole, but you know, it was so weird because and I'm not saying just the Marine Corps, but the U.S. military, right? This whole uniform thing goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, right? It was a way for unit conformity. It was for everyone looking the same, to where it was no one is above anyone else almost. We're all going to look the same. We're all going to dress the same. That way we also know that when we're down range, we can identify ourselves, right? But my experiences going to the places that I went, and your experiences going to the places you went, we didn't, once World War II, maybe Korea ended, even in Vietnam, the enemy wasn't wearing uniforms. Where I went, they certainly weren't wearing uniforms. Their uniforms were whatever the hell they had on their, and most of them they didn't even have shoes on. You know, jeans and t-shirts. They weren't wearing uniforms. Ironically, a lot of places that we went, we didn't wear uniforms either because we kind of wanted to fit in. The bad thing about uniforms is if you're going to a place where they don't wear uniforms, you stick out.
Oh yeah,
badly. Now, some people want to stay. Sometimes they want you to stick out, to show the force. Sometimes they don't want you to stick out at all. They want you to blend as much as you can. Now, a very short, pale white guy sticking out where I was, we weren't blending in, but we wore jeans and t-shirts and all of that. It was really interesting. But yeah, the whole uniform thing I think is interesting because no one that we fight these days are wearing uniforms. Like those days are long gone, right? Like long gone.
Well, hopefully. And the big thing too that plays into that is you don't want the enemy to know who's important and who's not. Dude who's decked out Oakley gas cans, FDE with the new pack on, looking different than everybody else. He's probably somebody important. The enemy's going to want to take
or someone in supply because he's got all the new shit.
Well, they don't think about that part. We know that's the truth.
We know that's the truth.
But
yeah,
someone's got a boy in supply. Yeah.
No, it was interesting because when we went somewhere, we had no rank insignias. We took our name tapes off. We didn't wear name tapes at all. We were not allowed to take our wallets. Nothing. The only thing we had on us was our dog tags. That's it. And those were in our boots. We weren't allowed to have name tapes, no rank, even the officers. We knew who the officers were. But here's one thing you guys don't understand. When you're downrange, you don't salute anyways. So you never know who's watching from a building. They see guys saluting one person. They're going to say, oh, that must be their leader. There was no saluting. Yeah, we didn't wear name tapes. We were when we went outside the wire, we had to put all of our stuff, wallets, everything, ID cards, everything into the bag. You know what the bag is, but I'm sure. But had to put them in the bag, and that's what it was. We had no identifying markings on us whatsoever. I think because of international law, we had to keep our dog tag on, but we put that in the boot. And as I was getting out, interesting about this. I'm sorry, Chris, we're probably boring the shit out of you on this. So as I was getting out, the meat tag started becoming a thing where you got your dog tag tattooed. Was that a thing when you were coming? Were people doing that still, or was that just a quick fad?
Nope. Still happening.
Okay.
Right after boot camp. Some people.
Yeah, so that wasn't a thing until I was starting to get out. As a matter of fact, it was maybe about 6 months before I got out is the first time I saw one. And I was like, interesting. That way you don't have to carry your dog tags anymore. It's just we call it the meat tag. I don't know what they call it now, but we just call it the meat tag. So yep. Gabriel wants to know what I thought about those black leather basic boots. I didn't know any different. I mean, it was the first combat boots I ever owned. I'll put it to you this way. I'll tell you this much. I only wore the black leathers for inspection. And here's why. We had inspection periodically. And it was just more because it's what it was. It wasn't like a pass fail. And if you failed, you were, it was just like, all right, next time, fix your shit, man. But the black leather basic or boot camp boots, did y'all wear the black leathers at boot camp, Kyle, or did y'all go with the Danners even at boot camp?
They were Bates, but yeah.
Well, but you know what I meant, like the suede, like the non-leather black boots, right? Okay.
Yeah, so I was like right at the beginning of that transition.
Okay, so I'll say this: so y'all never had to worry about spit shine boots for inspection or anything like that. It was a thing.
Just
it was
core
a thing.
frames. Yeah. Yeah,
so core frames we wore with our Charlies and Alphas and all of that, but like we have every now and then we would have cami inspections. And I'll say this about the boot camp boots, the black leather boots. Those were amazing for spit shining. They held a shine like you wouldn't believe. So I got to the point where I had those things like glass, and I would never wear them except for on inspection days. Every other day I wore the jungle boots. Which I don't know if you guys had the jungle boots or not, but the soft boot.
Yeah, a desert version just had eyelets. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's but we had the jungle boots were the green and black. And you could get those nice and shiny, but nothing like the boot camp black leathers. So everyone that I knew got those black leathers just like glass and just set those off to the side. It only broke the glass, in case of emergency for inspection and all that. So I did outside of boot camp, but actually after combat training, and all that. Once I got to what we call the fleet, I don't think I ever wore the black leathers except for inspection ever again. I wore the jungle boots, and then we went into the desert boots and all of that stuff, which were like kind of like a suede material. So they didn't, you didn't even put. I mean, it was just fantastic. But no, that's. I will say that those were great for inspection. Rob out there says they still ate real crayons when Ghost was in. They didn't have ones made out of. So I've told you this story before, guys. Like I had never heard of the crayon thing until about 10 years ago. I never heard of it. It was not a thing when I was in. Was it a thing the whole time you were in, Kyle, or when did you start hearing about the crayon eater thing?
No, I didn't hear it either till I got out.
Yeah.
But I think it came with like, man, there were some like heavy, like veteran / Marine groups. Like, I can't even think of what the heck they were called anymore because they've all been shut down. But it was some pretty gnarly groups out there, and they would just come up with memes all freaking day. Hilarious memes. I think that kind of spurred from groups like that. So,
yeah. What up, Moo? 2 live Moos out there. I don't know. Back to the damn question. 1.8 thousand votes. 70% are correct that say steel target. Now, I will say that paper targets for a lot of different applications, especially if you're zeroing, if you're getting ready for a competition that uses like a B-52 target or something, practice with that stuff. But just for general use, man, I'm all about the steel target because it's so much easier. Now, Chris, at the range that you're a member at now, you're able to shoot steel target. Is a steel always out, or do you have to take it out and put it back before you leave, or is it you just keep it there? It's always there.
So the steel targets are mine. I bring them with me. Okay, I got them in the back of my truck. Yeah.
That's the only bad thing about steel targets is they're not light. You know, they're not terribly heavy, but they're a bigger pain in the ass than carrying a paper target out, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to carry a stapler. You don't have to carry tape. You don't have to carry extra cardboard or extra paper. It's steel. Man, an hour and 22 minutes already. Holy cow. And we're just not getting done with the thing. We didn't have a topic tonight. Like I said, I came here without a topic just because I didn't have time to really think of one. So if you guys, I appreciate like Marcus's that question took us half an hour and that was great. So if you guys have any questions for any of us, I'm not going to say this is an ask us anything, but if you have questions about pretty much anything, let's talk about it, especially if it's gun related, obviously. Defense says our range doesn't allow steel other than 22 OR, and then it has to be swingers. Interesting. I'm not a big. I'm not a. I like a dueling tree, but I'm not a big swinging target guy. For me, it sounds weird, but for me, that brings absolutely zero practicality into what I'm trying to get done at a range as a swinging target. I don't see anyone that I'm going to be shooting at weaving and bobbing, like a boxer does. If in a defense, maybe he will, but you know what? You can move your head all you want when it shoots you in your belly button, and you're still going down. So I don't dislike it. For me, I'd rather not shoot the swinging targets just because it doesn't bring any practicality to me. Go ahead, Kyle.
I was just going to say, now we know if we ever get in a gunfight with Ghost,
bob and weave.
Bob and weave.
Bob and weave, baby. Bob and weave. I might shoot you in your dick, but
he's not trained for it, guys. Just bob and weave.
I'm not trained for the bob and weave.
I did have a serious question though, and this is mainly for you two, just because you guys have been on the competitive scene.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever shot those Texas Stars?
Oh yeah.
That looks
they're a lot more prevalent. And when I was shooting Steel Challenge stuff, most Steel Challenge matches will have a stage that has a Texas Star, or it might be like an extra stage after you get done to go have fun and compete against everybody else. But IDPA, no, I don't know about USPSA. IDPA, back when I was shooting it a lot, no. But Steel Challenge, every Steel Challenge I ever went to had a Texas Star stage in it. So yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Well, we shoot at the higher end USPSA like clubs. They'll have the Texas Star. I love it. It's
so do I.
Absolutely fun. It's probably my favorite target to shoot.
Yeah. It definitely separates the boys from the men,
Yeah, it's a bitch to set them up every time because you gotta. They're heavy.
It has to be perfect, or
So when you're trying to, once you get one target back on, that thing's going straight to the ground. So it pretty much takes two guys to put.
You got to hold it in place for sure. Yep, you got to hold it in place for sure.
And then at the end of the day, when you got to load them up and move them back into the Econo box or the shed or wherever they're going, if you're lucky, they'll have a tractor there you can move it with. But if not, it's a 2-man job carrying that.
At least, and by the end of the day, it's probably a 3-man because you're all probably tired.
Yeah. But they are so much fun.
But they are fun, yeah. Kyle, I love them. And like I said, as far as the competitive world, I never saw an IDPA, but I saw them all the time in Steel Challenge, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a challenging target.
Have you never shot a Texas Star?
Gun too?
No, I've never shot one.
Oh, dude, you got to.
I know there's got to be like a technique to it, right?
There's not necessarily. There's several. Okay, let's just say that there are several techniques, right? And everyone kind of has the way that they shoot it. I'll let Chris give you his 2 cents as well. For myself and most of the guys and gals, but when I say guys, I mean everyone. Don't try to piss anybody off. Most of the guys that I saw, not everyone, but most of them, like either at the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock, the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock, they kind of found that spot that they're looking for and they shoot. And every time another one comes in there, they take that shot on that same kind of spot instead of chasing. A lot of people find it easier to chase. I'm not that guy. If you get into a good rhythm, then they'll come to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now you might have to get the first 2 of them to get it going in a how do you put a consistent speed and all of that. But I was never a chaser. Chris, are you a chaser or a waiter?
No, I always take the very top.
Okay.
And then I'll either go left or right.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot the left, go to the right. I always leave the bottom ones first. If you take a bottom one first, that thing's going to start going really fast on you because that
might not be able to keep up. At that point, you are chasing, and it's because you don't have a choice but to chase. Correct. Yeah.
And then if you ever get a chance, I know Dead Zero down in Tennessee has one, but they have what they call the double Texas Star. So you got 5 plates, and then you got a big arm and another 5 plates. So not only are the plates spinning,
sadistic,
it's going around, and that is a wild one.
I think I'd actually have fun with that, but I'll have fun shooting that, but not in competition. That would be frustrating as hell in competition, probably.
That's a backyard shooter, huh?
That's a backyard for me.
Yeah.
I ended up getting pissed off.
That's awesome, though. Yeah,
they're fun, man.
They've always intrigued me, man.
No, they're fun. There's dueling. I'll go back to dueling trees. Also, dueling trees are really fun. Have you ever shot a dueling tree, Kyle?
No.
You know what they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the pole.
Dueling trees are. Yeah, and if you shoot it for swings this way, and you get 2 people, and you kind of see how many you want less on your side. If you shoot, it swings back over to your competitor's side, and if they shoot, it goes back to yours. And usually we'll have anywhere 4, 5 to 10, however big it is. And I like dueling trees, but they're usually pretty small. So like it's a 22 LR type thing. Now you can make them bigger for whatever size you want. But they're fun to me. Those kind of things. Yeah, we're talking dueling trees, Texas Stars. I don't mind the swinging targets. I don't think that I don't like wasting time on stuff that I don't think is practical or going to make me better. A dueling tree, a Texas Star will make you better. A swinging target might make you better, but it's making you better at a skill that I don't care to be better at. Once again, especially if it's like a silhouette target, I can just point right there in the middle and wait for it to come, and I'll shoot it. So is that really teaching me anything? I don't know. I don't know. Ed Zacher says, hey, all. Hey, Chris. Hey, Ed. How are you? Don't forget I'm not sure if that's supposed to be lead hand cleaner or lead hand cleaner.
Them D wipes.
Defense Dad wants to know, how the hell do you know? How do you work for Anderson and not get a chance to shoot the fun steel stuff?
I know. Well, unfortunately, these range days, I'm usually just a spectator.
This is true. You don't get to shoot a whole lot at range days, if any.
Yeah, no,
maybe in the morning to get everything ready to go, and maybe at the end before it goes cold, but probably not much.
Yeah, the most I see at a range day is usually zero, getting the zero and all the optics, and let you guys have fun.
Yeah, you don't see Texas Stars at too many ranges because number one,
Wouldn't
they're
that
super
be
expensive
fun, though?
too.
Wouldn't that be fun as hell to have it a range day?
Yeah.
Like some company needs to do, like an optic company or something needs to bring one to a range day and have a competition, like the fastest time to get done with the Texas Star wins an optic or something. Wouldn't that just be awesome?
Hey, Primary Arms Optics, if you guys are listening, I know you're doing a range day before NRAM because I'm going to it. That would be really cool. That's a good idea, guys. Just saying.
Doing a Texas Star, let's say 5 or 6, plates, and you time it, and whoever throughout the day has the quickest time, boom, wins an optic or wins whatever the hell you want to give away. But you want people to come to your booth at range days like this. You might want to think about getting creative like that. People will come for competition, and they'll come if they get something for free, if they have a chance of getting something for free,
I feel bad for the two guys that have to go down and set it up every time too.
That's what the newbies are for.
Yep.
That's what the newbies are for. The Texas Chili Star. Boom, there's your food and guns event. That's not a bad thing. The Texas Chili Star.
Cincinnati.
Chili. Speaking of chili, I don't know how you weird fuckers are that eat that Ohio, Cincinnati chili and all that. Beans with chili or no beans in chili?
I like beans in my chili.
Beans for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
See, if you add beans to it, it's a 5-way. So you got the spaghetti, the beans, the onions, the chili, and the cheese. Perfection.
So weird. Same guy that likes Cincinnati chili, though, so you can only take that for what it's worth.
I was going to say, if we set up a star, it'd be the Cincinnati Chili Star,
and no one would come. First of all, let's be honest. Like, I know it, but the average person in America outside, I would say outside like the Midwest, they probably don't even know what Cincinnati chili is. They probably never even heard of Cincinnati chili, I only heard because we used to go to Cincinnati every year,
We have spread to Florida. There is a Skyline chili in Florida.
Where?
Hold on. Let me Google this. I can't remember the city.
I hope they got it somewhere near TJ and Chase, because that would be hilarious.
Oh, please. I hope. Yeah.
Midnight says, good look at your shooterless Cincinnati Chili Star event, Broseph.
There are 3
really
in Florida. So you got Clearwater, Sunrise, Lakewood Ranch, Fort Myers, Naples, Winter Garden.
I don't know where any of those places are.
And Orlando.
Okay, well, it's Orlando. That's where Chase and them kind of live, about an hour, 45 minutes from Orlando. So
they're all located on the coast.
Where Midnight Range has a fair point. He says, just because something is famous doesn't mean it's good. That's true. That is true.
That is true.
Cornbread or cinnamon rolls with chili? What the hell are you talking about?
Cornbread.
You don't eat anything with your chili.
Oh, cornbread with chili is very
I don't
good.
like cornbread, though. In general, I don't like cornbread.
Oh, gotcha.
I love cinnamon rolls, but I would never eat a cinnamon roll with chili. That's disgusting.
I'd eat the cornbread with the chili and the cinnamon roll after I'm done eating the chili.
I'm okay with that, with the cinnamon roll after. Now, do y'all like dip your cornbread in the chili, or do you put the cornbread in the chili, or how do y'all utilize cornbread with your chili? I'm interested.
I like to take the cornbread, crumble it up, put it at the bottom of the bowl, then put the chili in, and then some sour cream and some cheese.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I'm just eating the cornbread on the side. But I like cornbread. I can eat cornbread with just about anything.
See, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm just not a cornbread guy. I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of hush puppies, which is basically fried cornbread. I'm not even a big fan of that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just too dry. I don't know.
Love hush puppies.
If I'm going to eat a cornbread, it would be a hush puppy, right? But it's just most of it's too dry. Now, aside from this Cincinnati chili shit with noodles and all that, when you're eating just like normal fucking people's chili, right?
Yeah.
Like good old American chili. Do you guys eat it with a spoon or with crackers or scoop it with Fritos, or like what's the utensil? How are you actually eating your chili?
Spoon for me.
Spoon? Okay.
Yeah,
spoon for you? Okay. Wow. Interesting.
But I will put all kinds of different things in chili. Sometimes I love Fritos in chili.
No, yeah, I get like a Frito pie, but I'm just wondering if you just have a bowl of chili, like I don't use a spoon. I use either crackers, like saltine crackers, phenomenal. Not crumble, just use the actual cracker as the vessel. Or my wife uses Fritos, the big scoop Fritos. She scoops, and that's how she eats it. I also like the Tostitos scoops, like the corn chips, the scoops. That's a great way to eat chili because it kind of just gets in that little bowl, and oh, so good, so good. This can turn into chili talks. I could eat chili forever. Once again, we're not talking about the weird ass shit that y'all eat up there. Just normal American chili. What are you putting in your chili? Are you putting ketchup? Or are you putting sour cream? Are you putting cheese? What all are you guys putting in your bowl of chili?
I mean, I think hot sauce is number one for me.
Interesting. Okay.
And it could be any type. I'm on this Farmer Nate's hot sauce right now, but any type of hot sauce, really.
Why wouldn't you just put that in when you're actually making the chili?
I mean,
do you eat canned chili, or you always make your own chili?
Always make my own, but
so why? I mean, I'm not trying to be smart. I'm asking, like, does your family not like hot sauce? Is that why you don't put it in there?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
my daughter's not a big spice head like me, so.
Got you. I got you. So you're doing hot sauce for sure.
Sour cream.
I need to try that. I love sour cream. I've never tried it with chili. I need to try that.
Some shredded cheese.
Yep. What kind? Does it matter?
I prefer cheddar.
Good call.
Yep.
Good call.
And then I will settle for saltine crackers. I heard what you said, Ghost. But I prefer the oyster crackers.
Okay. Now, are you putting them into the chili?
Yep.
Oh, see, I don't put the crackers in the chili. Like I don't crumble them and put them in the chili. I use the square saltine. I use it as the vessel to actually eat. I don't use a spoon. I actually scoop the chili onto a cracker and eat the cracker. But no, I'm all for like the small oyster crackers. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yep.
And sometimes I add mustard. Really good. Try it out.
Were you dropped as a child?
A couple times, but we don't talk about it.
Mustard. I love mustard, but like I've never even heard of anyone putting mustard in chili.
Oh,
Chris, please don't tell me you're okay with this.
No, but Weston puts mustard in his chili too.
You've met Wes, right?
Yeah.
That explains a lot. Let's just be honest. Wes has dropped several times as a child.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't.
I've never even heard of anyone eating mustard with chili. That's just weird.
Slept on. It's slept on.
I guess Weston kind of has a point. He said mustard and chili on a hot dog. So, I don't know. Not for me. I'm not a mustard guy.
If I get a chili dog, I'm not putting anything on the. If it's the hot dog, I'm putting mustard on there. But if I'm getting a chili dog, I'm not putting mustard on that dog. It's just going to be the chili and the dog. That's just me. I'm not saying it's bad. I love mustard. I might have to try that, but I've never even heard of this mustard thing. Must be a Kentucky thing.
Give it a sample.
Oh, I will. And I'm definitely going to try the sour cream because I love sour cream. Once again, I never even heard of sour cream and chili. A lot of people talking about onions and all that. We make our chili with a bunch of onions, diced up onions anyway. So I don't have to add onions to my chili. It's already in there for sure.
Yeah, my wife does the sour cream and chili.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that because like I said, I've never heard of that before, but I love sour cream. Absolutely love it. So, nobody puts ketchup on a hot dog. When I was a kid, I put ketchup on a hot dog, but I put ketchup on steak when I was a kid too. I love mustard. I actually tell you what, for a hot dog, I'm kind of a mustard and ketchup guy, like mixture of mostly mustard, but with a little bit of ketchup to bring that little zap to it. Mix it all up. I'm okay with mustard and ketchup. I would not go ketchup only for sure. But mustard and ketchup I'm okay with. I'm more of a mustard guy. But as a kid, I think everyone put ketchup on pretty much everything as a kid, didn't they? Like I put it on everything. I'm not a relish guy on a dog, though. I do not like relish. And I love pickles, but something about the relish is just different. I'm not a big relish guy. You guys like relish? In general, especially on dogs?
Love relish.
Do you really? Okay.
My little brother used to put ketchup on pancakes when we was kids.
I still never.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But he also chugged Frank's Red Hot. Like, just wake up, go to the fridge. You'd see him standing in front of the fridge drinking Frank's Red Hot. Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
So my wife is one of those that carries around a bottle of Tabasco with her everywhere she goes. Like, everywhere she goes in her purse, there's a bottle of Tabasco. Everywhere she goes.
That's the advantage of carrying a purse.
I carry a backpack. Now, I like heat enough to where it's adds flavor, but when it starts like numbing your palate and numbing your taste glands and all that, I don't like heat. I like enough spice to be flavorful, but I'm not like Chase. Chase is all about like he wants his whole damn mouth going numb. It's on fire. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can enjoy food when you can't taste anything but heat. I don't understand that.
I'm with you. I'm all about the taste.
Yeah. Cat's up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like dill pickles. I'm not a sweet relish guy for sure. I can eat dill pickles all day long, all together. Gabriel says Tabasco holster for EDC. I should get her a Tabasco holster. That would be hilarious. That would be amazing. Put it back in there. The fastest draw in the West. All right. We went down some weird rabbit holes. For those of you that were watching this, I apologize that thought you were going to tune in and get educated about anything. Honestly, I'm tired, and I just wanted to have fun with my friends tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We just kind of bullshit, and we're talking. You are not going to learn anything at all tonight. If you've made it this far, if you made it an hour and 43 minutes, God bless you. We hope maybe you were entertained, but you definitely weren't educated for sure. It's all good. It's all good. Kyle, give us a little bit of what's going on, Anderson. You got the Frontline series out there. There's the 10.5 team quad rail right there with we went with the LPVO. I'm digging the LPVO in there. I wasn't sure about it. I'm digging it.
It's versatile.
It is. This is a riveting podcast, better than most. That's not saying much. If this is better than most, then you need to change the podcast you're listening to, because I had fun, but I'm not saying it was a great podcast. I think it was entertaining. I think we had fun with it, but you definitely weren't learning anything.
Definitely.
I think Kyle grew up in a strange house. I tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle, what's going on at Anderson besides Frontline and all that? I know you guys are busy as hell. Anything coming down the line that might be people can look forward to maybe this summer?
Yeah. So we got a couple launches loaded up, a couple things close to the boat. We got the Kiger 9 CL, the X70 bolt action, still working some kinks out there, but we're looking to hopefully get it out this summer. Like you mentioned, the Frontline series. Right now at Anderson Manufacturing, we are scrambling around, getting ready for NRAM, getting ready for Primary Arms Optics Range Day, the day prior to NRAM. Anybody in the crowd that's heading out that way, definitely give that a look too. It's a good way to get your hand on some guns and
yeah, for sure.
Fire some of the new products that you've seen in all these SHOT Show videos and stuff like that. But as far as things on the creative side, I mean, we're working on a lower build blog piece.
Nice.
Chris introduced me to Jason from Rogue Banshee. And
Rogue's a great guy.
Once he gets back he's on a trip right now, but once he gets back.
Yeah, he is. I talked to him last week or week before that, and he was talking about going, I was like, you don't have time to go on a trip.
Yeah. But he's real big in the building too, and he's like, hey, I'd love to collaborate with you on some things. So could be some potential Rogue Banshee, Kyle working on some gun stuff. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to look, but I had the honor of being on his podcast this last week, and then let's see what else.
Rogue's a great guy. He put up for 2 years staying with us at SHOT Show, so he's a pretty good guy if he puts up with Clover and I for SHOT Show.
Yeah, that takes a saint.
Takes a saint.
Yeah,
more because of Clover. Let's just be honest. He's a bit of a diva.
Yeah, a bit.
But
speaking of Clover, he had an awesome podcast with Rob Pincus.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Go check him out. Like maybe that was a good one. Talk about Avidity Arms is in the PD10, and I was fortunate enough to be the first person outside of Avidity's people and all of that I was first creator to have one. And I think I had the very first review video in the world on the PD10, which is kind of cool. That was a couple years ago, but yeah, the PD10's out, great gun, but they're going to come out with a version with the 30 Super Carry. And I've never been a 30 Super Carry kind of a guy. I didn't do it. Not that I hated it. It didn't do it. It didn't present anything that I needed, right? Like it didn't fill a void in my life. So I really wasn't that big of a thing. Now, being that it was only the third gun ever to be chambered in 30 Super Carry now, it's pretty cool because it's the most affordable gun. The first was a Nighthawk, and the second was a Smith & Wesson. This was going to be an affordable $600 gun in 30 Super Carry. That I think this gun is actually a better gun in 30 Super Carry than it is in 9. It kind of hurts me to say that. But yeah, go check out that podcast with Rob. They get nerdy into some of that stuff. And Rob is a dear friend of mine. One of my best friends in this world, has done a lot for me personally and professionally. But I'll tell you this, the man can talk. If you want to be entertained, Rob can talk with the best of them. So go check that one out for sure.
I like watching any show he's on because you said, he's just such a great talker, man. Very charismatic.
Well, there's a reason why the CNNs and the Fox Newses of the world call him for certain things. He's great on camera. He is. He's phenomenal. He's a little bit of a media and attention whore. I'm not going to lie. And he'll tell you the same thing, that he's never met a camera that he doesn't like. And Rob loves him some Rob. Let's just be honest.
And then save the best for last here, and not to steal your thunder, Chris. But Chris has got a week of frontline video set up, kind of tricking out his frontline 16. So it's going to be pretty cool to watch that.
I plan on having about 3 more videos at least with that frontline. I'm going to do a video on the front line, another one on the optic. I'm going to throw on the Monstrum Arc Saber light on there. I'll be talking about that. And all that. So there'll be several videos that are featuring the front line. I love mine. Once again, 10.5 for me is that sweet spot. I love the 10.5 5.56. That's just me. When you have really short arms like alligator T-Rex arms like I do, that's why I like AR pistols so much, is they're perfect for me. And when you're weak like I am, not very strong either, being able to hold up that shorter rifle system is a lot easier for someone who's weak like me. So it is what it has its perks for sure. But if you're into that, there's different links. There's all sorts of stuff. What's up?
Oh, I just said Team Quad Rail.
Team Quad Rail, baby. Team Quad Rail. G-Web says, anyone YouTube acting weird today? I wasn't on YouTube at all today, so I don't know. What's being weird? That might be the first question.
I ran into something weird with it today.
What's that?
I ran into something weird with it today. Oh, yeah? I'd seen that Clover launched a video a couple days ago. That was the Rob Pincus video. Yeah. I went to watch it today, and I typed in Clover Tack in the search thing, and it brings up my recent. There he is, but it would not pull up his channel. It would only pull up videos, and I had to go into one of his videos and click on his logo. Yeah, it was definitely a lot harder for me to get to his channel than typical.
That's interesting. G's saying his channel won't open half the time he loads it. Well, if you and it says only one person's watching. Right now on my counter, it says 0 people are watching. Obviously, that's not the truth. So there might be some stuff going on at YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, it's seeing that over here on my screen that there's only one out there.
Yeah,
weird.
And so go. There's probably some weird stuff happening. There's no telling. Midnight says, I'm starting to get the feeling this dude ain't going to give me an upper or a job. I thought we were besties. Dude's probably a vegan or something. He likes Cincinnati chili, so there's that.
You know? And I do love salads. Love.
Yeah, you are weird.
But I like steak too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Apparently, Chris. Jake. Ah, please.
You all right, smell burnt toast?
Lance says it's not even showing me live. What? Wow, interesting.
Oh wow, it's not on mine either. Now I'm looking at it.
I'm not live anymore.
I mean, you are. You're still like streaming on my phone over here, but it doesn't. It usually has that red live that you can click. It doesn't have it.
That's very odd.
That's all right. YouTube's just acting weird. When are they not acting?
Either that, or did we say something that pissed them off and they cut us off? No, because they're people are still watching, obviously. So I don't know.
You broke the internet, Ghost.
It's very, very weird. That's right. I look forward to breaking the matrix. That's just me. So now G-Web says I can't open my subs page now. That is strange. Defense says you're still alive. Okay. I don't know. That's very there's obviously something going on with YouTube then, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Down Detector has been reporting some issues today. I don't even know what Down Detector is. Okay. So as long as we're still alive and we're still got like 0 people watching, that's normal for me, you know? So
yeah, we got one person watching. It's G-Web.
On my StreamYard, it literally says 0 people. It has been like for a while. but obviously there's at least 3 people in here, so who knows, anyways, Chris, what you got going on? I know that you're busy, you got a lot of projects going on. What can people look forward to the next week, 2 weeks, month out, or whatever?
Yeah, so I'm dropping a video every day this week of basically how I set up my AR-15 for a lefty. So,
you might get 3 people to watch that video.
Yeah, yeah. So, yes. So yeah, basically all the ambi controls that I put on the front line, and then that's what I'm doing this week. And I don't know what I'm gonna drop video wise next week yet. I got a lot of stuff done. It's just a matter of, and then I won't be live tomorrow night, but I'll be doing my live show a week from tomorrow. So that's what I got coming up, man. I actually had a really good time tonight. This was a fun show.
Sometimes not having just talking and going wherever the sea takes you is kind of fun sometimes. If you guys are out there, I think everyone that's here live obviously knows who he is, obviously. But if you're out there watching this replay, or especially if you're listening to this in podcast and you haven't checked out Chris from the 740, please do. I'm really, really happy. I'm really proud that we've become friends. I'm really proud of the work that you're doing. You guys, I don't say this about me. Let's be honest. Outside of my friends, I don't watch a lot of gun stuff on YouTube. I hate to break everyone's. I don't do that. I don't watch a lot of YouTube to begin with. If it is, it's usually music or cooking stuff. That's just what it is. I will say this about Chris. If you're looking for people that are going to give you incredible quality videos, the cinematography that Chris does is some of the best I've ever seen. You guys hear me talk about Mr. Big Kid. For the longest time, Mr. Big Kid was the best videographer I've ever seen. And Chris is up there with him. He's going to give you great reviews, honest reviews. He's going to go in depth. If you guys are looking for someone that you can trust as a gun reviewer and a gear reviewer, and you haven't checked out Chris from the 740, please, 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 please do. He's one of the best out there, and I'm really happy for you because you're going to be huge. I do believe that you're going to be huge one day, bud. You've got whatever that is. You care about what you're doing. You take pride in how you present your videos to people. You're one of the best ones out there, Chris. And I'm not just saying that because you're here and you're my friend. You know me. I don't give a lot of compliments to people, not because I'm I am an ass, but I don't. Okay, it's just I don't give a lot of comments out there because I just don't. There's not a lot of people that, no offense, that impress me. But you're definitely one of those. So please go check out Chris in the 740. And please go check out Anderson Manufacturing. Once again, if you're out there and you're wanting to buy some fully assembled rifles or pistols, like the Kiger 9C Pro, my favorite handgun in the last probably couple of years, any of the Frontline series, any of the AM15s, any of the AM10s, all their systems that they've got on the website, and you want to save a few bucks, use the code GHOST or use the code Chris from the 740. Or anyone else that you might know that has a code, support them as well. But you use that code, we don't get anything out of it. It's just going to help you save some money. So, it's good. It's good. Thanks for coming on, Kyle. Thanks for coming on, Chris. Anything else that we guys want to bring up before we get out of here? Anything we might have missed, or we want to, besides Cincinnati chili? I don't think that needs to be discussed at all.
We didn't get a shotgun of the week or a 2 minutes with 2A.
I know, right? Fucking slackers.
I guess.
All right. So give me a shotgun of the week then. How about that?
Mossberg M500.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right. Just a Mossberg 500. Let's go.
2 minutes with 2A.
Yep.
Anderson Manufacturing is an official vendor at Goals. There's your 2 minutes.
An official vendor at Goals, which is the GOA conference and expo in August in Knoxville, Tennessee. will be there. Chris, I think, will be there. It's basically it's a new show. It's going to be very similar to like in RAM. You're going to have a lot of educational stuff. You're going to have some panels. I'll be on at least one, maybe two panels, talking about different gun rights and different gun discussions. And then obviously they have the expo where all the manufacturers will be there with their. If you've never been to SHOT, and you probably will never get to SHOT. Okay, if you don't plan on ever trying to even get into SHOT or go to SHOT, this is going to be obviously a very scaled down version of SHOT. But if you kind of want to know what an industry event is, it's in Knoxville, which is kind of a cool place to begin with. So go check out that. Yeah, we'll all be there. It's the first year. It's gonna be huge.
It'll definitely have the same vibes as SHOT Show or something.
It'll probably have better vibes because everyone dreads SHOT.
Yeah, very true, very true. But it's also in August, and it's also in a very beautiful place that you can take your family on a little vacation, and it's not going to cost you an arm and legs. So.
It's true.
The only unfortunate part is we have to look at the University of Tennessee.
You don't have to. I'll just close my eyes when we drive past the Leland Stadium. I will say this: the other only bad side of going to that is we have to. You guys don't have to. Unfortunately, we have to spend time with Ginger, and nobody likes doing that. So,
gosh, can't believe it.
We're still trying to figure out a night to go to dinner and all that. Kyle will talk off air, but I think a few of us are talking about maybe doing something in Dallas as well. If you don't already have dinner plans one of those nights, you guys probably already have dinner plans with different things. But if you don't, we're trying to figure out, kind of like we did every year, like we did at Indy last year. Going to have probably not going to be able to do it at the place that we're staying because I don't think they're going to allow the parties, but we can find some place to go and have a good time for sure. So we're going to talk about that. All right, guys. We stretched this into 2 hours, didn't we? Holy shit. Go check out our stuff. We got some stuff coming out this week. We got reviews on some lights, some optics, some firearms. We got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of Gideon stuff, a bunch of Monstrum stuff. Got some more stuff with Anderson Frontline. We've got some shotgun stuff coming down. We got a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be an interesting month before we get to NRAM, because it's going to start right back over after NRAM is. Plus, my summer is usually just nuts crazy, so it is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys for coming, watching this, listening to this fiasco. Hope you guys had fun. That's what this is honestly about. We joke about that, but honestly, we're here to try to have fun. And if we can talk about some gun stuff or whatever along the way and all of that, make people out there understand that we're just normal people. We're not crazies out there. We're not scary people with these guns. We're just normal, everyday people that just happen to like the Second Amendment, and that's a great thing. But go check out our stuff. That sounds weird. Don't check out my stuff. That's on OnlyFans. You can check out all my stuff at OnlyFans. But yeah, go check out Anderson Manufacturing. Go check out Chris for the 740. I will give a plug. Go check out the Gunners of America. I will not give a plug to CloverTac. Do not go and check CloverTac out. If you're subscribing to CloverTac, please unsubscribe from him immediately. But yeah, guys, get to the range. Be more proficient with your firearms. Make sure you're staying in tune with all of the local, state, and federal two-way legislation. Make sure that you're making sure that your representatives are doing their jobs. If not, guess what? 2024 is an election year, and we can make that shit change very quickly. Most importantly, get to the range and enjoy your freedoms of being an American, one of which is to keep and bear arms. We'll see you soon. Semper Fi.